Oh, I lost it.
You lost it. We're live.
Oh, great. Sorry, guys. I was
You're,
like lost my whole
we can
spot
we
in
can
the
edit
section
that
to bring
out.
up my video. No, we're good.
Yeah, we can edit
Welcome
that out.
back, Stock Dads. Listen, tag team back again. Check it to wreck it. Let's begin. Right? I mean, my
Check it
boy
to wreck
Fuzz.
it.
I gotta tell you, man. Back from vacation, it feels good to get back in this saddle, man. And I love being here, man. Look, this past week was a major success in the Discord. I
Yes,
mean, we killed it. I mean, my profits pretty much for this week paid for my whole wedding plus some.
that's
Now we're
awesome.
looking to try and get a Tesla for Jessica. I'm
Hey,
like,
why not?
listen, if you buy a Tesla, it could be potentially the last car you ever own, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
so I mean, at this point, like it's been such a successful week, man. I'm jacked to be back. I'm jacked to even like the CPI data is coming next week. I'm like, just give me a direction, baby. I'm just ready to trade it.
That's right.
How about you, man? How are you? Have you been these past few weeks that I've been gone?
Yeah, we've been doing pretty darn good over these past few weeks, and yeah, even though the market's been a little wacky, but last week, hey, I mean, ride the wave and just jump in calls, and there you go, pretty much. Especially Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I mean, good God. But yeah, it's been a really good week or two, and we're happy to have you back. And I mean, I saw your numbers on Friday, and yeah, impressive stuff. And it's always good to take a little bit of a step back and a little bit of a break, even if it's for a wedding or whatever, just to take a step back. It's always good to yeah, take a breather, and when you come back, you're just geared up and just hitting it. And I've seen that,
God,
not even with
I tell
myself.
you,
Yeah.
I tell you out there in YouTube land, if you ever get a chance to go to Antigua, which we had to learn that that's actually how you pronounce it. We thought it was
Antigua.
Antigua. They were like, "Hey, you're saying it wrong," and we were
You're
like,
saying
"What? We're saying it wrong?" Like, yeah, it's Antigua. So if you ever find
Antigua.
yourself in Antigua, your best bet is to go to like a private beach where you can sit back, relax, have your own pool, overlooks the ocean. You're going to be snobby, do snobby all the way. And, the ocean just wasn't enough water. We actually enjoyed our pool. It was great. It was fantastic.
That's awesome.
I didn't do a single ounce of trading that week though, which is
Oh
very
man.
strange for me, right? Because I love to, have my ear on the markets and what's happening and what's going on. And
Right.
God, man, for that whole week I was gone, man, I just didn't care. But man, I tell
Yeah.
you, getting back into the seats and some trades that I made were like I temporarily, of course, shorted Nvidia, shorted Tesla. Then I switched to calls on
Switch to
Tesla,
calls.
and
Yeah.
then it just went crazy. I traded SHPH, of course, right? Who didn't? Pixie, obviously. Like it was just it. The volume behind the trade was just
Pixie.
too much
Yeah.
to ignore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just my style, right? I mean, that's how we play these trades in the Discord.
Yeah. I kept seeing
And that's what I
Pixie
love.
pop up. I kept seeing
Oh, did
Pixie
you?
pop up on those halts. Just halt, halt,
Yeah, I
halt.
mean, listen, and the beautiful thing about halts, right, is if you're in a halt, you have that 3 and out. My rule, 2 and out. I want to
Two and
be
out.
out before everybody else's rule starts to take place. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
not playing games with your 3 and out stuff, man. I want to be out way before you're even thinking about getting out? So yeah, I
Fair
mean,
enough.
I made huge profits on those plays. Pretty much like respectfully in the Discord, man, being able to share those ideas is really where it was at for me. And being able to talk to you guys, right? We went live and we were just discussing what we were looking at and, what we thought might happen with some of these bull flags that we were looking at. I mean, there was at one point during the day, we found a lot of the stocks had the exact same bull flag.
Exact same thing. Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is it, man. This is the bullish the market's been in a long time. I'm ready to trade it. So, speaking of news, right? We always do this thing where we know that news catalyst is coming next week. The CPI data, of course, comes, but I'm not quite sure that there's going to be a interest rate hike this time, right? They were set to do interest rates, and you know what? I should have done this, but I don't know if the interest rate comes this time and not next month, or it doesn't come this time and comes next month
Let's see. I know. Right. So the next rate hike is on the 21st,
of
I do
September.
believe. Yes, of
Okay,
September. So we
so it is
so we
going to
have
be next
next
month,
week,
and then
and then we
October they
have
skip.
November. Yeah, November will be the next one.
Bingo. So look, CPI data is going to come out. You already knows what happens, right? It's as long as you have a direction, right? CPI
Right.
data is going to come in. It's probably going to come in hot, and they're going to go, "Oh, we're still, fighting inflation. Not a big deal." But if it does come in clean, God, can you imagine? Can you imagine if we have like a positive? Like, my mind would be blown, right? I mean, we would be in complete bull market after that.
I
You
kind
know,
of looked at some historical data on that, and it's not uncommon for inflation to show some kind of cool down before repping back up. So
yeah,
it
but we already did
is
that,
a little
right? I
crazy.
mean, didn't we already cool down a few months ago, and then we ramped back up, right? And that's kind of the where we fell, right?
Mm, I'm more,
It
yeah.
didn't pull back
I got
that
a
much.
little,
I get
yeah. I didn't pull back that much.
I
No.
guess maybe I'm just too bullish, right? To be in that type of mindset where I can be bearish for too long. I mean, my
Mm,
thing to me, it doesn't matter, right? I know the stocks that I
right,
get into long term, right, will always be, stocks like Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, maybe
right.
AMD. Look, I think if you want to invest your money in AMD, go for it, right? I mean, you're trying to put money into a cheap chip leader in the future, go for it. You know what I mean? I'm all
Right.
about it. I love their story. I love what they're trying to do over at AMD. I'm really actually more interested to find out what China does with Taiwan and, where that story will lead us into. But very interesting stuff coming down the pipeline. You've heard about this China Taiwan issue, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Plenty of tensions there. There's a lot of history on it.
There's a lot of history. You're right.
Even Putin is meeting with President Jinping, or however you pronounce his name.
Mhm.
They're meeting together for the first time since the Ukraine conflict, or Ukraine war, really.
I did not hear
Um,
that news. That's news
yes,
to me.
they are meeting. They either met today or they're meeting tomorrow. I can't quite remember, but yeah, that is going on pretty much nowish. So,
I mean,
uh,
it's coming. You
yeah.
know it's coming.
So
And
yeah,
all we can do is prepare for it, right? I mean, that type of news is just, it's detrimental all the way around. But
right.
I wonder what Nancy Pelosi has her cash in after, making that trip to Taiwan. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I'm interested, right? I bet you she's doing nothing on the back end right now. Her and her
yeah.
husband.
I think she's been a little bit more quiet since they've been
Go figure.
under the radar scope a fair amount. So, and plus her husband got 5 days in jail for his DUI. So
Yeah, yeah. Big time no on that end.
yeah,
Uh yeah, I mean, whenever I think about, things that I want to get involved with, right? Long term, not quite yet, right? I think for me, I'm always waiting for some type of confirmation to the upside. So,
yeah,
if numbers cool off, great. That's cool. I'm still day trading at this point. I'm not
absolutely.
buying a whole lot of stocks long here, right? I'm usually just day trading, building up my account so that when it does come time to buy stocks long, I know that I've got cash flow to do it, right?
Right,
And I'm
right.
always 20% cash in my account. Matter of fact, let's talk about that number for a second because I find that a lot of traders have this number where they're like, okay, well, I've at least got, this amount in, or I've got this percent in. Tell me, what is your percent, Fuzz? What do you keep cash on hand just in case things get crazy and it's time to buy on the day that you're ready?
I'm sitting 80%.
80?
I'm heavy. Yep, heavy
8
cash.
0.
80 heavy cash.
8-0 in cash?
I'm playing it extremely cautious day to day, by directional day trading, and because I personally, like, I've thought long and hard about this, and I've been looking at the signals, and I'm looking at some of the longer term charts, and if you asked me a few weeks ago, I was more and more feeling the good vibes of the market, and looking at some of the readings, thinking that, yeah, maybe the bottom is in. But after, a little bit of review over these past, like, week or so, past few days, really, and really looking back at some of the longer term charts, and, seeing where even the monthly charts, I didn't, I don't have a good vibe of it. So I really want to pay attention to what, that feels like, and listen to it at least. And then, if, my feelings match up to, what I'm seeing, in a logical sense, and if I can put it, make note of that, um, then yeah, I think there is a hefty chance that we do, in fact, print new lows. And I'm going to be patient, and, I will play it that way. And, I do have some hedges for the longs, and I will, keep doing that until, I get a better understanding of where we will go. But, I do think ultimately we do get to see new lows.
Let me ask you this, Fuzz. Are you utilizing options to get into your long-term positions?
So yes, for the most part, yes.
So if
But
you thinking that you want to see like $6 out of a stock or whatever it is, you want to see 20, $25 out of a stock, you'll put it to that number, or you'll put it long term to that number, then
right,
use your option flow to get into the price. Okay.
right,
I like
right,
that, man. I like that idea. Yeah, I mean, I get it, right? Because you never know when the market is just gonna, keep going down the
right.
cycle,
And I don't want to try to time it. Of course,
right?
I want to wait to see, what happens until I myself have a more clear picture. And I don't particularly care to try to be a, bottom fisher, if you will. But what is dipping can continue to keep dipping. And in the longer term charts there, they're still a little iffy. And we are getting a bounce. Even this week we could keep pushing higher, which is fantastic. I will play it that direction until we hit upper resistance, which I think on the SPY is about 420, 425. So once we hit those levels, we'll see. And then maybe I'll, you know, adjust from there.
So Paper Profit and I, and Paper Profit's been on this channel before, and he's also in the Discord. Very good trader. Him and I go back and forth about my position in Alibaba,
Baba,
right?
yeah,
And so my positioning, if you don't know, Fuzz, is at $75. And Paper
right, yeah, you
Profit
have a
all the
good
time tells me, he goes, "You haven't taken money off the top yet? Like, I don't understand why you aren't taking profits and then buying more and then taking profits and buying more." I'm like, "No, man, you don't understand. I'm very proud of my
of your
$75 entry on
75.
Baba." You know what I mean? Like, if you look at the chart, like, I'm $2 from the very bottom.
Right,
So,
right.
I think that that's just like, one of my things is, if I have a good enough position, I'm just not going to touch it. I may
Yeah,
just
which is
add
fine.
to it if it gets low enough, but it just hasn't gotten there, right?
Yeah, and you can always, if you're sitting on, plenty of cash, I mean, you can always dollar cost average. You can always sell covered calls on it. You can always sell the premium. I
Mhm.
mean, we all know there's plenty of ways that you can, cover your bases there. So yeah, I mean, Baba, especially with China names. For me, China names is too finicky for my taste. Everybody's different. I'm not gonna knock it by any means. Even SE was our baby like last year when it was making that crazy run up. Even JD was good to us in the past, and uh, yeah, it's it's so gappy, and we don't know what China does
Right.
day to day, so it's a little too unknowy for me. So I usually stay away from Baba and some of the China names. But you got your strategy, you know what you're doing there. So I'm not gonna knock it, man.
Speaking of the strategy, I got a question here. What is it that you use as hedge against your longs here? Whenever you're thinking about a stock that you own or something like that, what is your hedge to your bet that stocks are going to keep going lower? What do you
Usually
usually play, the indice, or do you play the actual stock itself?
I usually buy puts or put debit spreads for X amount of time, usually about 30 days out.
But are you playing that on like SPY or the SPX
SPY.
or
Yeah,
SPY?
mainly on the SPY. You can buy the 3 times leverage funds. You can play the VIX if you really wanted to. I
The
tell people
SPX has gotten pretty popular.
SPX is pretty popular. Yeah, it's
It's
getting
getting
crowded.
very popular
It really
because
is.
of the 0-day contracts, right? I mean,
Right.
the
And
momentum in that
it's
is just
cash
insane,
settled. It's
right?
cash settled,
It's cash settled.
and the taxes are totally
You
different
can
on
day
futures.
trade it all day without that PDT rule, right?
Right.
I
Yep.
mean, that's the
Yep.
key. That's the
Yeah,
key for a
definitely
lot of
definitely
traders
take a look
nowadays.
into SPX and trading futures there. There's a of course there's pros and cons to each. But a lot of people are jumping in on the futures bandwagon. But yeah, as far as the hedges go, I usually go with the indexes. I got a put spread on SPY for this week actually, so we'll see how that pans out. But the point of it is to protect against my longs. So if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. So I'm not gonna fret too
Yeah,
much. If I have to take it off, I'll take it off.
right.
But I the last little downturn that we had, I had a nice hedge on the Qs, and I made 70% off of it, and that protected me more than enough on that. So I was more than happy with that trade.
So let's get into. We got about 15 minutes here. I want
Sure.
Fuzz. Give me something that you're looking for next week. I mean, I know we got some news catalysts coming with the CPI, but tell me what Fuzz is looking at next week. What stock are you? What pick are you looking at? What mind of Fuzz Nostradamus esque type play are you looking at for next week, my man?
Oh man! All right. Besides the spy, that's going to be my nuance. I'm focusing on the spy. But if I want to play individual names, it's going to be the big tech guys, of course. But I also want to keep an eye on corn, the commodity corn, CORN. That's looking like it wants to bust above 27.50 for a run, maybe back to the 30s. And I think if inflation does start to cool down and the dollar starts to cool down a little bit, the yields kind of come down a little bit. I think commodities might pick up a little bit, and maybe we get another shot there. But I already do have some shares in corn. Just go ahead and toss that out there. And yeah, I'm looking for higher prices there on corn, 29.50, even 30, maybe even the new highs on that. I'm also liking the looks of Dix, which if you know us in the Discord, we always talk about uh, some of these retail names like Target and Walmart.
Right.
Dix, DKS. They actually have a pretty decent options chain. Good chart. It busted above 115.50. I'm looking for that to continue towards 120, maybe even higher, maybe even 130. Amazon, TTD, Airbnb actually had a pretty good day on Friday that I'll be keeping an eye on. So yeah, I think the bullish nature that we're in right now, I think we have a good chance to continue that bounce in the short term. So that's what I'm going to be focusing in on for at least the week. I might pay attention to some of the energy names like Oxy. I think that's at a support level.
Of course.
Uh,
Of
you know,
course. Yeah, I
getting
mean,
in
how
with
could you
Uncle
not forget
Buffett.
about, something that Warren Buffett is unloading his cash flow into?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah, so yeah, there's plenty of names out there that look pretty juicy going into the week ahead, and I'm kind of looking forward to that to see what we can make out of it. So, have,
I'm getting a little hint of it's time to start really looking at cybersecurity plays.
okay,
And so I'm looking at CrowdStrike specifically.
sure,
I
yeah,
mean, they're the
right
leading
on.
cybersecurity company, as far as like market capitalization goes. But they're one of the biggest names in cybersecurity. And CrowdStrike, it was in the cloud form in the beginning, and its business model kind of focused on moving a company's existing security stuff into the cloud,
Yeah,
which actually makes it very particularly suited to help those who work from home. And so I'm looking at CrowdStrike to be a leader in this department. And so I'm looking at CrowdStrike moving forward this week and starting to get some momentum as we look for news that's going to start coming from Russia, I believe.
okay,
And so my kind of thesis on this here is Russia and their attack currently in Ukraine. Um, they are going after power grids. And
hmm.
so, with all of this going in line with how we are going to protect ourselves from the same type of attacks, I think CrowdStrike is on hand to start taking some major responsibility from government contracts. And so, I'm looking at that as a start of a play for me for sure.
I like it. I kind of pulled up the Z scaler chart too because I know they're They do cybersecurity, cloud security, really.
Yep.
And they had a very
Taylor.
nice tap and go on Friday, so that one looks kind of
That's ticker
juicy.
symbol
So
ZS, right?
ZS, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that one looks pretty interesting. If it can get above that 190 mark, could easily push 200. You know, those psychological boundaries. You know, with the
Right.
names.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I can definitely dig it on the cyber names for sure.
You know, and I was, God, man, we had to go to Apple Store this weekend to get Jessica a new phone because she left her phone in the sheets and it washed her phone on the spin cycle. And when the thing came out, it was bent like a half taco shell.
Oh
And
no.
we like go to Apple and they're like, "What did you do to the phone?" And we're kind of nervous, right? We want them to replace our phone, but we don't know if there's anything that if we do, like, sorry, we don't replace because you left it in the washing machine.
Right.
So we were like, "Oh, it was her purse." And
It was a
we
person.
completely lied, but we ended up getting a new phone for like $100, thank God, man. But I was
Yeah.
in there and they were doing cybersecurity training for their Apple members, and I was just like, "How is it?" I didn't even know that was a thing. Did you know?
Interesting.
Yeah, they hold like cybersecurity classes at Apple stores. What? I didn't even know that was a thing.
I didn't know
But
either. That's
interesting
interesting.
enough, man. I
Hey, are
like
you going to get the new iPhone 14 that's coming out?
Jessica is. I am a Samsung guy.
Yeah, me too. Every yeah,
I have always since I think it was since iPhone 6 when they reported that, oh well, our batteries kind of downgrade when you start using our apps because you didn't update your phone. I was just like, oh, sorry, I probably shouldn't have blown the finger there, but that's how much I hate iPhone.
right.
We just I'm Samsung. Give me
Yeah,
Android all day.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've been Samsung pretty much my entire adult life, and yeah, you know, they have a lot of benefits. You can customize and do a whole bunch of slew of things that
It
that
it
Apple
it
can't
matches with
really do, but
everything. The only thing it doesn't play well with is iPhone.
Samsung usage. Someone's
It's like,
calling us a savage, Mike.
mm,
Yeah, you know, they did that release of Apple event, and Steve Jobs' daughter, whose name is Eve Jobs,
mm,
she pretty much wrote on Instagram that it was meh.
yeah.
So I thought that was kind of
Well,
funny that even the daughter of
what's
Steve Jobs was going
incredible is
like,
like
yeah, I don't know.
I was listening in on it, right? I was all right. I'm not gonna lie. I was half-ass expecting them to release like Apple Car or something. Just give me
We were
some.
waiting on that. Yeah, yeah, we were.
Just give me something to be excited about, right? Don't give me the earbuds that like take an inner picture of your ear canal and connects to the phone and does the wah, wah,
Yeah,
wah, 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 wah. Like, don't give me that
that was
bullshit,
pretty
right?
wacky.
Give
Yeah,
me Apple Car for God's sake.
I
Like, I
totally
have
forgot about the Apple
calls
Car
that
thing.
need to print.
Are they
you
still
know?
doing the Apple Car? I haven't heard like any updates on that in like
Well, there's like so
God
they have
knows
like
when.
67 some odd cars. All right, some
Yeah,
guy out there, and I forgot what his name was. I think it was Lango, who's with Investor Place. He released some deal that there's 67 cars that they have that are out in the streets, like gathering information for their Google Maps and stuff of this nature. But it's all electric vehicle, right? But they're little like prototype cars.
right.
But I'm like, okay, so just say that, or give me some type of update of what they're doing on the roads, for God's sake. Just give me some type of concept to be excited about. I just can't.
Sure.
I can't put my money into earbuds. This isn't Beats by Dre, right? I mean, you gotta give me a break.
Why not?
What else? Oh, let's talk about the Discord here for just a second,
Sure.
because recently in the Discord we had our fantasy football draft,
Yes. How'd you do?
and yours truly is getting his ass kicked in fantasy football this week. I mean, listen, man, I thought I did very well in the draft, and my guys did not perform very well at all. But I
Who you
love
got?
football. I'm a big football fan.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm not happy that there are 14 teams, but I'll make do. Right? I'll make
14. Wow.
14 teams. Do you
That's
play Fuzz or no?
that's busy. I got one with my family, and that's it.
Got you.
I don't do, you know,
So you're
fantasy.
in.
I do fantasy basketball, but that's about it.
Got it. Yeah, for me, I can't do fantasy football with family because we'll just have fights at like Thanksgiving, and
Right.
nobody wants to see that. I mean,
Yeah.
Thanksgiving and the Dallas Cowboys, like it's just bad all the way around. Like I'm not a Cowboys fan, but I know I've got to
Okay.
hear it from the people who are. And I'm just like, you don't even live in Dallas. Like, why are you a Dallas Cowboys fan? Give me a break. He's like, oh, it's
Yeah.
America's team. Like, get out of here, man. I don't want to hear that shit. Like, you're the same guy that buys Genus because he likes a free Cartoon Network.
Yeah, I got Josh Allen for QB, so that's like the main one I do know that I have, and I got Diggs, so I got 2 Buffalo Bills on there, but I'm kind of weak on the wide receiver position, which is going to hurt me. I'll try to pick up a decent waiver and see what happens from there. So
I
we'll
think
see.
Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson are going to have stellar years. One, I think Josh Allen's just a great quarterback. I think he's only going to get better. But Lamar Jackson didn't get his contract, so he's going to be playing his ass off this year. And guess who has him?
That guy.
So I'm excited about that. We'll see where it leads me.
Nice.
All right. Well, Stock Dads, thank you for taking your time out of your morning or night to hang out with us this live session. Remember, we are live in the Discord every day making trades. Come trade with us. I mean, last week was phenomenal. I can't tell you and express to you how much I thank Fuzz for being there and talking about our trades together. It was a great time. Fuzz, I look forward to doing it again soon.
Yes, sir.
Everybody, thank you for coming out, and we'll talk to you all in the Discord. Remember, go to the About section in the YouTube. Click the like button, click the subscribe, then go to our About page and click to join the Discord. It's easy, right? Just come hang out with the fellas. We're all here. We're all bullshitting, and we're all making money. All right. I love y'all guys. Stay safe. Fuzz, I'll talk to you soon, my man.
Sounds good, brother. Peace out.
All right. I'm out.